Today, Satish Korpe, president of Indian American Forum for Political Education Virginia, talks to Brian Moran, chairman of the Democratic Party of Virginia.
Good morning. We have our guest today is the chairman of the Virginia Democratic Party, Mr. Brian Moran, is with us. Good morning, Mr. Moran. Thank you for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.
Let's see. A lot of people know you in Virginia. You really don't need a whole lot of introduction, but if you could tell us about your heritage in politics, how you got into this place briefly.
Well, we don't have enough time to talk about the entire heritage because my engagement in politics and public service began at a very early age. My father and mother were very insistent that we be involved in the community and our church, and so it really stemmed from that. I'm one of 7 children, and my father was very engaged in the local politics and state politics. We grew up in Massachusetts. He came of age during World War II. He served in World War II, and then Franklin Roosevelt. He was a big fan of Franklin Roosevelt and how Roosevelt reached out to those who were disadvantaged economically. And so he was a Democrat. And so he raised the family as Democrats.
Yeah.
And I continue to be a Democrat. So I moved here into Virginia in 1986 and went to law school and became a prosecutor locally. And then got into politics, ran for the House of Delegates, served in the Virginia House of Delegates for 12 years, and now serve as chairman of the Democratic Party of Virginia.
Very good. You also are the younger brother of the Congressman,
yes.
Jim Moran.
Yeah.
Well, that's very good.
Jim was raised in the same home and with the same values.
Now, with all these engagements that you have as you mentioned part-time job, your regular job, how do you manage the priorities to monitor the grassroots efforts, keep in touch with the elected officials, your professional commitments, your family commitments, and others? How do you manage all this?
Well, there are, you know the old adage, Satish, you're a busy guy. If you want something done, give it to a busy person.
Well, what's your day job, just briefly?
I work for a higher education association.
Oh, education.
So I'm general counsel.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm very passionate about higher education.
Sure.
Really and as you know, Satish, your family has benefited from a good education, and you know it's necessary to be successful in this society, in this economy, to get a good education.
Would you like to share your views on the case being heard by the Supreme Court about the healthcare reform bill?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was recently argued, of course. People call it the Obamacare. It's the Healthcare Act, Affordability Act. I mean, it ensures that everyone has access to good quality health care. And the provision in particular that is so controversial was originally proposed by Republicans, that to afford health care, that everyone has to be involved, much like an insurance pool. The more people you have in the insurance pool, the premiums go down because you have healthy people, you have ill people, but the greater the pool, the more people involved, the lower the premiums, the lower the cost for the insurance company. And that was the idea behind this health care bill, and that they would require everyone to get health insurance, everyone to pay in. And modeled after Massachusetts plan that was promoted by Mitt Romney. And that's the provision now that the Supreme Court's looking at to see if can we require people to have insurance. And it's I'm a lawyer and studied law and then practiced law, and it's a very interesting argument. The Supreme Court, 9 justices, all very smart people, but they have very divergent views. Many of them are very conservative. Others are more liberal, progressive. So it'll be a very interesting decision. Right now, it's a court that has 4 pretty conservative members and then 4 fairly liberal members, and then Justice Kennedy seems to be the one in the middle.
Now, talking about your position and the immigrant issues, how does your position help to smooth out the process of assimilation of new Americans? Now, I know there's a lot of federal regulations involved, but from your perspective, how would you see that your position will help the new immigrants, new Americans to assimilate in the mainstream?
Sure. Well, immigration issues primarily federal, though the state gets involved in some ways. As a Democratic Party, I see our opportunities or our role to be one that we bring as many new Americans into the political system as possible. We're a party of inclusion, not exclusion. And so we are very cognizant, very aware of bringing more ethnic communities to the table. You didn't mention, I visited India. We were in India together a couple of years ago and really enjoyed it.
Came with us on a trade mission that was led by former Governor Tim Kaine.
Yep.
And we went to, I guess, Chennai, Mumbai, and Delhi. And Mr. Moran was the first assembly person, first delegate to take a trip like that. Not being part of the executive branch, but just to know how things are done over there to bring back some of his experience. And thank you very much again. And we look forward to see you to make a visit to India when you have time.
Great. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.